Folks, let's go ahead and get started. It's 2 o'clock. Thanks for coming back. Good to see everybody again. We are going to be talking about administrative systems at Stanford, and I know that sounds like a dry topic, but we will be doing everything we can to keep it interesting for you on that topic today. So learning objectives. One of the big things is, every university has this lots and lots of different systems. And so the question is, where do you go to get what type of information? And then the other thing is, which systems actually do something, perform a financial transaction, and which ones just give you information and they don't actually do anything or move anything through the system. So we're going to take a look at the different systems and see which ones do what. We'll understand what type of information each one can provide. And then I'm going to just show you, these are not comprehensive tours of the systems, but they really are going to show you the kinds of things that I use them for. And when you're in the research administration role, a lot of buttons that you're going to a lot of times, and tricks and tips. We'll also look at some of the user guides and how-to resources that exist on RMG and OSR's websites to give you that detailed information. And then if you were able to get some BI access, then you're going to get an opportunity to actually get in there and try to pull some information yourselves. So we'll start out by talking about the pre-award systems. And I have this document, the summary document, saved in the box folders. So definitely take a look at that. And that's going to have even more detailed information. That's what I'm going to be kind of going off of in this discussion rather than the slideshow. So pre-award systems, the first one, the one that you'll hear the most often is the proposal intake form. This is originated in SARA and it's the basic information about a proposal. You've got to route this to RMG before they will even take a look at anything that you're doing on the proposal side. So where does that live? It lives here on the SARA landing page. This is sara.stanford.edu. You can see there's a button called Start Proposal right here. Skip over this PDRF. This is the proposal development routing form. This is done by the research process manager at RMG. We don't do these on the School of Medicine side. We do the second one, School of Medicine proposal intake form. This is your standard grant application, how it's originated. I want to point out something else here. If you're doing a postdoc fellowship, it's got its own separate form. And it essentially combines the PDRF and the PIF. The other thing that's unique about the postdoc button is you got to have all your documents ready to go. They've got to be attached to this form. So definitely be working with that postdoc to get all that info gathered together. The PIF, all you have to have is your funding opportunity announcement, and then you've got to attach either a draft budget or a draft budget justification. If you don't attach one of those two things, the RMG intake queue is just going to kick it back to you. So you're going to have that attached. And then if you're doing a clinical trial, again, externally funded clinical trial through the School of Medicine, you're going to use this SOM industry clinical trial initiation button. So that's how we get started with proposals here in the School of Medicine, is here on the SARA landing page with those documents. Again, we talked about PDRF. We don't do it, but it is an important document. It is important to get the proposal out the door. It's initiated by the RPM, and it has to be approved by all the investigators who are involved before RMG will submit it to the sponsor. And they're basically confirming they have enough effort, whatever effort they've put on the budget, that they can do it, that they're eligible to participate in that research project. And so this one is really important for RMG. Sometimes the RPM will contact us and say, hey, Dr. So-and-so hasn't approved. Can you please follow up? This has got to get approved. So that would be where we would intersect with that PDRF. Assist, this is NIH's web-based proposal preparation system. We took a look at it on Monday. Actually, you use your Commons ID and login to access the system. If you don't have a Commons ID, you request that from the research process manager for your division. And then you have to, the RPM then has to grant you access to a specific proposal in order to edit it. So if your PI downloaded the application package, you need to get a copy of that application number and get yourself added in the assist role. If you download it, then you obviously already have the access, but you need to make sure that you've communicated that to the PI and the RPM. Cayuse, I just want you guys to know this word. This is a system-to-system software that is used by schools outside of medicine. So we don't actually use Cayuse, but basically you enter the information for the proposal, pretty much the same information as what you put in Assist, but it has some extra validations and things that go on to maybe assist people in getting everything comprehensive. It's only used outside, it's used on the university side. We don't use it at School of Medicine, but if you hear that word, that's what it means. FastLane is National Science Foundation's web-based proposal preparation system. The RPM can give you a user account to that if your PI is planning to submit to NSF. And then finally, there are sponsor-specific websites. In some cases, a nonprofit or foundation has created their own portal. These portals aren't great. They're kind of tough to use. They're pretty clunky, but you can create your own account in these. And it's a good idea to create one, get into that system, start navigating it, figure out what's going on with it. You can often download templates for the proposal from that portal. And then I definitely encourage you to do that early, and then also read the RFA, the request for funding, the funding opportunity announcement early in the submission process to determine if there's any other access that you need, any other interface with that sponsor specific website.